Hey guys, we are back for Bandcamp Dailies number 8, the 8th version, the 8th iteration of the Bandcamp Dailies. And we have some listens today. So we have 15 listens. It's a lot. And so this might be a longer video, just a warning that it might be a longer video. And so what I normally like to do is I like to upload this immediately after I finish making the video. However, if, when the videos get longer, the file size gets bigger, and as I mentioned before, the internet, my upload speed over here is very slow, and so sometimes I'll just wait to upload it overnight. And so this video might not come out until tomorrow morning, which is Saturday morning, the 15th of March. So I'm recording it on Friday night. So just a warning. And also, interestingly enough, it also has to do with my internet. Apparently, the ISP is shutting down the internet tower in my area. So I'm going to be without internet for the foreseeable future. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but it's, on the 24th of March. So 10 days from now, the internet's going to go away. However, I'm still going to be uploading. I have a lot of stuff in my YouTube channel that will be published eventually. And once the internet does go away, I will have access to the internet probably like once a day at another location. And I will schedule my uploads so that they'll still be published. The videos will still get published like every 2 hours, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you as a potential viewer, I know there are a few people that watch these videos. You probably won't notice a difference in my YouTube channel, but there will be a difference on my end. So, and I don't have internet on my phone. I just have a very basic phone plan that just has talk and text, the most basic plan you can get for like $5 a month. And so yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be like going back in time to pre-internet days. So by the way, if there are any hot girls out there who are wanting to confess their love to me, just know that I won't see your message. I won't see your message initially, but I'll see it eventually. So just know that. What's that sound? Oh, it's crickets. Hey, what's that? Oh, it's a tumbleweed. Did you like my joke? It was a really stupid joke. Anyway, should we get to the video? I think we should get to the video. Okay, so 15 listens. So we have Christopher at the very bottom. No, we don't. We have, okay, I've got to do something with the scroll. Okay, so we have Full Body Dislocation. We have Jarring Phantoms. So these two are from Implanted Perceptions. We will listen to this one. We've already listened to Jarring Phantoms before. Then we have a bunch from Self-Inflicted Memory Loss. We have Christopher Crunchy Hooves. Look at that, 1, 2, and Take a Photo. We've already listened to 2 of them, Christopher and 1, 2. So we're going to listen to the other 4. We also read the lyrics, the very inappropriate and stupid lyrics that make me laugh. And we have Illogical Infatuations 1. This is from Senny's Unnecessary Elaborations. So we're going to listen to that as well. And then we are going to listen to Seeping Orifice, which is its own sort of album. It's like a single, I guess you can call it. And the Dying's Last Breath, I think we'll probably look at this as well. And then Cries from a Defective Mind and Violations, we've already looked at those, so we're not going to do those. So we have a long list of stuff. So let's get to it. The first track we are going to be listening to is Full Body Dislocation. This is track 2 from my Implanted Perceptions album, which came out in 2023. As we figured out last time in the previous video, this is my second most popular album. At least it's in terms of sales. So that's pretty cool. Now, yeah, it's up here. There are 48 tracks. And Full Body Dislocation is the second one. It's IP29, so that means it was the 29th track that I wrote. Now, I think last time we should just go to like the track page because it has the lyrics here if you want to read along to the lyrics. I mentioned this before. I don't care about lyrics personally, and so I really don't put much thought into the lyrics, especially for all of the lyrics, especially for the Self-Inflicted Memory Loss songs that we're going to be listening to later. But, okay, so let's listen to the song. Pretty cool song, I think. Now, I don't know if that would be my second favorite song on the album, but it's a good song. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I want to go to the tab. We want to listen to the tab. Where's the tab? No, it's in here. Okay, so it's this one, and it's 29, right? That's the 29er. PTB. So I wrote this on July 9th of 2022. And it was the only song I wrote on that day, so that's kind of interesting. Some days I wrote multiple songs. Okay. Blinding. By the way, this riff up near the top here, this one right here, this one was really hard for me to play. It's like 3-1 open, open, 4-3 open, open, 6-4 open, open. So basically it does 2 frets apart, then 1 fret apart, then 2 frets apart, then 1 fret apart, and it keeps going up and then it goes down. And it's fast, and so it was really hard for me to do it at that speed because it keeps switching between 2 frets apart to 1 fret apart. And so I had to, use different fingers. And I had a really, that's one of the hardest parts on the album for me. There's another one in track 6 that I can talk about later. That was also very hard for me. But yeah, so that's the tab of that song. And we will listen to the live version, the live rehearsal version that I recorded in March of 2024 last year. Oh my goodness gracious. I recorded on 3/16 and it's 3/14. So it's almost been a year since I recorded this. Wow, that's insane. Oh, we get to listen to my favorite riff on the album coming up. Okay, so that's the end of the first song. Now, there's a little tiny break before we get into the second song. And I don't know what I do. I like adjust something and my hands come off the fretboard. And then I accidentally hit an open string. And I always thought that it was my right hand. Obviously it was my picking hand that hit the string. But it never looked right. Until I finally realized, it was my fretting hand that accidentally hit the string. So just watch. It was my left hand. It was my fretting hand that hit the string. It wasn't my picking hand. It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that. So I'm going to point out, I'm going to motion where that hard part to play is. I played it perfectly in this song, in this video, but it was one of the hardest riffs for me to get up to speed. right, good stuff. Love that album. Okay, let's go to the next one, the next song that is. So we'll close that, and we are on to, okay, we're on to Self-Inflicted Memory Loss. Awesome. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we're going to have to go into Reaper as well, because we are going to isolate the guitar tracks, because that's probably the most fun thing about these Self-Inflicted Memory Loss songs, because it's free jazz. Every instrument is doing something different, and there's just so much noise. So if you can isolate what's going on but from each instrument, then you can learn more about it. So we want to go to music, I think. Yeah, yes, and yes. Okay. So we already listened to 1 and 2, so we're going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, right? That was really stupid of me to zoom out. I could have just done this. So 3, okay. So what's the deal? I'll close the video window. I can zoom in a little bit. Normally I have the mixer down here, but I turn it off when I make my videos. I'm just debating on whether I should turn it on again. I should turn it on, yeah. It looks better. All right. So, but before we do this, we have to listen to the songs. And so then we're going to, I don't know if we should do it. We'll just do it song by song. So we're going to listen to the song, then we're going to isolate the tracks, then we're going to read the lyrics for the track. We'll just do that. Or should we read the lyrics at the end? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. I should organize this a little more, but I don't know. Okay, track 3, this is called Hooves.
The hooves of the mountain goat are very large.
Very funny sample, hilarious sample. The hooves of the mountain goat are very large. The way that guy says that is so hilarious. This was some type of, I don't know, some type of nature show, like kid nature show or something, educational nature show.
The hooves of the mountain goat are very large.
Okay, good stuff. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to isolate some instruments. So let's do the drums first. Okay, it's like, what are you doing? I really like the start, like the first half of the song. I really like that. Love that. Okay, let's do this. Let's turn this song. This is the left guitar. Yeah, so this is all completely improvised. No instrument is listening to any other instrument. It's just playing by itself. And then at the very end, all the instruments are combined together and randomized. Forgot to mention that off the top. Huh, that guitar is like all tapping. Did I not know that? I don't know. This right guitar does not sound familiar at all. It's one of those tracks where I guess the left guitar dominates. Okay. We're gonna do the lyrics at the end again. probably. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, so that was track 3, Hooves. So let's go to track 4. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know how to turn that off. It will not stop annoying me. I Googled it. It said, oh, you can't do it because you're stupid.
Okay, here's the part you had trouble with, right?
Right?
There's no trouble for me.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, that was an infomercial. And these people were using some type of device where it was like a spray painter or like an air that you used with an air compressor. You hooked up an air compressor to it, and then you could paint. Did I just say spraint? I was combining spraying and painting. And so I remember this one scene in the infomercial. They had like this fence, like it had several posts in the fence, and then they were painting it. And, they have to sound very enthusiastic and whatnot. There are several infomercials on this album, several infomercial samples on this album.
Okay, here's the part you had trouble with, right?
Right?
There's no trouble for me.
He sounds like such an asshole when he says that.
Okay, here's the part you had trouble with, right?
Right?
There's no trouble for me.
No trouble for me.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I like how the song ends right there. It sort of changes. Yeah, where the guitar suddenly goes up. I really like that. All right, good stuff. So let's isolate that stuff. Oh, I think they were still highlighted. Okay, nice fast-paced drum track. Let's listen to the left guitar. Yeah, this song, I feel like both guitars definitely play a role because it's sort of switched. I was listening to this isolated track, and the melody that I know when I'm listening to the song, parts of it are from this guitar, and then it's missing parts of the melody that I know because I'm assuming it's in the other guitar. So they're definitely pulling their weight. All right, good stuff. Okay, let's do this. What if I do this? Will it? Oh, yes, finally, I'm finally starting to get the hang of this. I've been using Reaper since 2012. What year is it? That's 13 years ago. Okay, so let's do Crunchy.
Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. That is Whitney approved. That's official.
Fantastic.
Crunchy.
I really like the way the girl says fantastic. Now, if I remember correctly, she had food in her mouth when she said that. And I think you can hear that in the way she says it. But so there are two girls talking. This was, if I remember correctly, this was for, I think there are several samples from this segment. It was like a food segment in one of those talk shows, afternoon talk shows for women. And there was a food segment. I don't remember what it was. It was some sort of food that was crunchy, though.
Oh my goodness. It is Whitney approved. That's official.
Fantastic.
Crunchy.
All right. Crunchy. Okay. So that is number 5, I believe. Okay, good. Go to hell. Okay. Trying to be as random as possible. Left guitar. I really like these fast palm mutes in the middle here. And then there are also fast power chords right after. Now I'm interested in hearing this right guitar because that guitar track sounded like the song that I know. So what's going to be different? That's hilarious. The only part I recognize is this part where the guitar goes up on the higher notes. That's funny. Okay, so let's go to the next song and look, can I do this still? Nice. Okay, so we're on Take a Photo. This is the last one.
Can I take a photo of the two of you?
Super obnoxious. This was from a kids show. I don't know if it was animated. It probably was animated. Yeah. It was animated. The animated shows, I guess because they have to use voice actors. The voice actors really go all out with their enunciation and the way they speak and all that sort of stuff. So there was a lot of good samples from animated shows and kids shows as well.
Can I take a photo of the two of you?
Okay, so one of these guitars has a lot of harmonics. I know that already. All right, let's listen to the drums. There's like barely any toms on this song. There's 1, 2 of the rack toms and then just one part that has 4 toms. The 4 tom, I should say, and rack tom. Okay, let's do this and let's turn on the guitar. Was that, I know there were harmonics on this one, but I feel like there were more. Maybe both guitars have harmonics. Okay, I think that was the guitar that had all of the harmonics. Okay, so what are we doing now? We have to do lyrics. So what are we doing? So I have the lyrics they're under my face. So basically I have to reposition my text file here. Okay, then I'll bring the lyrics over, and I also have to, I think I need the tracks. So can we go to one of these folders here? And if I go back, and then maybe I can do, first of all, let's do this. Self-inflicted memory loss, yes. We will go back to the self-inflicted amnesia. We learned in the last video that was the original title of the album that I never released. So we have they're all up here. So what happens if I click one?
The hooves of the mountain goat are very large.
Good. So before we do this, I'm going to maximize and I'm going to turn off repeat. Okay. All right, so here we go. So once again, we're gonna check out the lyrics so the lyrics on this album, there are 99 tracks, and the lyrics are very stupid. So just a warning, they're very stupid, they're very juvenile, they're very immature. At times they're very sexual. They're just really dumb in general, and I never published them. I never published them because of how stupid they were. I needed lyrics for 99 tracks, and so I just tried to write them as quick as I could and do the lyrics. And then I recorded the songs, and I never went back to read the lyrics. Maybe I did a couple times, but I completely forgot what they were. And so then I came up with the idea of doing the Bandcamp Dailies video series that we're doing right now. And some people were listening to the Self-Inflicted Memory Loss, and I thought, hey, let's read some of the lyrics. And I thought it was really funny. And so once again today, because someone listened to some of the Self-Inflicted Memory Loss songs, I had to dig out the lyrics, make sure they were appropriate. Well, they're not appropriate, but I had to make sure that I was comfortable enough with sharing them, because some of them I'm not. And I read them today, and I thought they were very funny. So we're going to check them out. All right, so here we go. So this is Hooves, track 3.
The hooves of the mountain goat are very large.
Okay, there you go. So we got some bestiality. Honestly, I was reminded of something I saw. I believe I saw it on TMZ several years ago. I think it was Heather Locklear. They were interviewing her, and she was saying how semen is really good for your face, like as a sort of a skincare type thing. Anyway, that's what it reminded. That's really gross, obviously, but this reminded me of that. Okay, so let's go down to the next one. Why can't I hit the fucking arrow? Jesus Christ.
Okay, here's the part you had trouble with, right?
Right?
There's no trouble for me.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I don't know what this means. Semi-transparent penis crusher? I don't know what that means. Oh, so this is kind of disturbing. This line right here. I don't think I'm going to say it, but okay. So let's just go to the next, the next song. Okay, Crunchy.
Oh my goodness. It is Whitney approved. That's official.
Fantastic.
Crunchy.
You guys should scissor crunch those pussy mounds together. Oh God, that is actually kind of poetic. Oh my God. Okay, so let's go to the next song. Is this the last one? Yeah, okay, this is the last one.
Can I take a photo of the two of you?
Okay, so as I mentioned, I forgot about all the lyrics. However, this one line always stuck with me. I never forgot this line. China, fuck your dog with my camera. Now, I don't know why. It's really stupid. It doesn't make sense, but it always stuck in my mind. Whenever I listened to this album a lot. Whenever this line would come up in the song, I guess you can consider this to be like the chorus, even though there's no chorus. But I had always remembered the lyrics to that part. So basically, to take a photo. So I sort of made it, I sort of took that as like there were tourists that were taking photos or something, right? Taking photos, snapping photos because they're tourists. And then I based the lyrics off of that. And I guess they're Chinese tourists. And then, but I really like the last line too, staycation, bitch. Okay, so there you go. There you go. There are your lyrics. Hopefully hopefully someone else listens to more of those songs because I really like reading these lyrics because they're so stupid. Okay, so what are we off to now? We're off to Illogical Infatuations. Okay, so this is a super epic song, actually. It is track 1. Actually, this is by far my... Okay, two things. This album, Sanity's Unnecessary Elaborations from 2018, is my top-selling album by a lot. And it's also my most downloaded album by a lot. And the first track is my most played song by a lot. So as I mentioned in a previous video, I forget what video it was. Oh, I think I talked about like my top 10 albums or something like that, or top 10 most popular albums. But I mentioned that, this album got a little bit of press. And so it got a lot of sales for me. And this song got a lot of listens. So it's 10 minutes and 47 seconds. Okay, so basically the idea behind this album is so 3 of the songs, Illogical Infatuations 1, Inevitabilities 1, and Interpersonalities, Irrationalities. Interpersonal, did I say that properly? Interpersonal Irrationalities 1. These 3 songs, they each have 100 non-repeating sections. So the song is built in such a way that there are 100 sections, 100 unique sections that don't repeat. And there's also another stipulation. Each section has a different tempo from the previous one. So the riffs just change constantly. There are a shitload of riffs. And this was an absolute bitch of an album to memorize. Writing it was okay, but memorizing and playing the guitars and drums, recording them without, in one full take, without doing any editing or punching in or overdubs or anything like that was an absolute bitch, but I did it, and I'm really happy that I did it. And what I'm trying to say, so it's kind of interesting. The first track is 10:47, and then track 3 and 5, they're each 5:30 something. Meanwhile, all three of these songs have the same amount of sections. They all have 100 sections. It's just the track 3 and 5, their sections are more compressed and short. So we're not going to listen to the whole song. By the way, check out the beautiful, the absolutely stunning and gorgeous cover art. By the way, I took this picture. I took this picture in 2004, 2005 when I was living in Sudbury, Ontario. If I remember correctly, my dad's friend called him because, so I moved there in 1995 originally. And so I had a best friend, we played hockey, and then his parents and my parents sort of became friends. Well, they did become friends. And then, so fast forward to 2005, I had started doing some gay photography. I was becoming a gay photographer. Not really. I was taking photos of the sky and stuff and yeah, basically just the sky. And so I guess he had seen, the sky was really crazy that night. It was like, the sun was going down and he had noticed that the sky was very intense. And so he apparently knew that I was into photography like this. And so he called my dad to tell me that the sky was looking really nice. And so my dad told me, and then I went outside and I looked up and I'm like, holy shit. Literally, I walk outside and everything is like glowing because of how crazy the sky was. Everything was glowing. So I didn't bike, I ran. So basically, where I would go to take these photos was where I would go to walk the dog. I go up a hill, and then at the end of the hill is a trail in the woods. And so I'd go in the woods. You go up a hill as well, and then you finally get to like on top of like a rocky hilltop or whatever, and you have an excellent view, excellent vantage point of the sky. And so I ran as fast as I could because the sun's setting. I want to be able to take some good pictures of this. And so I do it. I take the photos. Still have the photos. They were taken on an old, one of those 20 years old by now, at least 20 years old digital camera. I mean, the quality is not great, but I mean, obviously it still looks decent, right? But yeah, very memorable. So we're obviously not going to be listening to the entire track. We'll just listen to first minute or two. I didn't know where we were in the lyrics. So, But yeah, that's basically the gist of the song. Now, all of the tracks, they all start with the letter I. It didn't start out that way. I just sort of, I think I came up with this song title first. I'm like, hey, let's make every single song start with the letter I. So yeah, by the way, like I said before, I don't really put any thought into the lyrics. They're just they're all fiction. So what am I doing here? Oh yeah, I want to show you the tab. I have the tab for this song. If we can figure out where it is. Fuck. Okay, what is this album called? It is called this. All right, so here it is right here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to, listen to the... So what I do is I programmed the metronome click into the actual tab so that when I export the MIDI, it also exports the metronome. By the way, before we do this, I'll just scroll down the file so you can see. Yeah, so basically a section, quote unquote section, it's like a measure, I guess. But like, so basically, I didn't write this out properly. Like I didn't write it out properly as a tab or sheet music because I didn't change the time signatures. So if I were to check for errors in the tab, there would be a shitload of errors. You can see there are 196 errors. So I didn't fit everything into proper time signatures. Because I wanted a section to sort of just be whatever I thought would be good, and I wanted a way to keep track of how many sections I had written. And you can see there are numbers at the top of each measure. And so if I started adding music bars, that's what they're called, right? Music bars? Yeah, music bar, to separate the measures so that it would fit with the time signatures, it might make it harder. And I feel like there would also be less writing because I wanted it to be a section. And sometimes a section would be multiple measures if I wrote it out properly. But for this, I didn't write it out properly. It's just, if you know what I'm talking about, do you know what I'm talking about? I'm sort of rambling here, but you can see at the very bottom, there's 101. But because the first measure isn't actually a measure, it's basically just the count in. So let's just scroll somewhere else. We'll scroll like later in the song. So we got to the slow part of the song, I guess. Here's a faster part. So if you were to ask me to play this song on guitar or drums right now, I wouldn't be able to do it because I would need to practice it again. So I don't know what the fingerings are and all the beats that I play. However, when I listen to the song, I can follow along. I know exactly what riff is coming up. So at least I still somewhat remember it. So we have something else that we can do about that song. I made a live video of that specific song. So yeah. Yeah, so basically when I recorded that song, I recorded one of my guitar tracks and my drums track. And then I was going to, so that I could post a video of it. And I did. And I think, yeah, I did. I posted the video before the album was finished because that was the first song I memorized. That's another thing I had to say. So basically when I went to memorize these songs, because they're so complicated and there's so many things to remember, I did one song at a time. And so for this song, what did I do? So I wrote the guitars, and then sometime later, what did I do? I think I say what I did. Anyway, I remember trying to memorize it. So I think I did I did like a really quick and dirty memorization on the guitar just to sort of get the song structure into my head somewhat. So I had my guitar and I was practicing along with the tab, and then I would go like 10 measures at a time, and I'd try to play along to the 10 measures. And once I could, I would go to the next 10 measures, try to play those all at once without too many mistakes. And then once I had all 10, because there's 100 measures, I would try and play the whole thing through. And so then I would bring it over to the drums. That was just to get my mind around the song structure. Then I would bring it over to the drums and try to come up with drum beats. And so I did the same thing. I would try and play along to 10 measures, the first 10 measures. Once I got drums written for that, then I would go to the next 10 measures, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes I would have to go back to the first 10 measures or the second 10 measures to practice more. And once I had all 10 sets of 10 measures written and memorized, I practiced the entire song until I was able to play it all the way through without making a mistake. And so that's why it was an absolute bitch to record this album. And so once I recorded the drums, then I had to do the same thing with the guitar. I had to be able to play the guitar all the way through. So I did the same thing with the practicing 10 measures at a time. And it was ridiculous, but I did it. And we are going to watch not the entire video. We're going to watch a little bit of it. So I think I called it NR4. NR4 was right here. It was the production name of this song. So yeah, there's a cool trick that you can do in YouTube, by the way. If you copy the link, and I'm going to paste it, and if you put a hyphen after the T in YouTube, it sort of like full screens the video, which is really cool. And it takes away all the comments and all that sort of stuff and all the recommended videos. So let's crank the volume. So I don't know. I don't think the lyrics are in this, by the way. And the mix is slightly different. Yeah, so by the way, go to hell. I don't want to see any of that shit. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really fat. This was 2018, right? So I was noticeably heavier back then. I don't know if you can really tell by the camera angle, but it's kind of funny. This is another one of my shirtless drumming videos, but I guess you can't really appreciate my fatness with the way the camera is angled. I guess my arm looks okay, my right arm. But yeah, if you were to look a little more to the side, if the camera was a little further over, you'd see the rolls in my stomach. I don't know how much I weighed at this point. I also don't know when this album was released. It doesn't really matter. Oh, no. Okay, so this would have been in 2017. Because this was released in February. Yeah, written in 20... So guitars, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, guitars, drums, and keyboards were recorded in 2017. And this was the first song I recorded. And then I would have had to memorize all the other songs. So this must have been earlier in 2017. So I don't think I was as fat as I eventually became. Because I was 204 pounds at my peak. But I remember I was fat for this. Fat and balding. Oh, God. I just want to put it to one riff. I don't know where the riff happens. Okay, and it does that for 11 minutes. So I think you get it. Let's listen to the very end, though. By the way, I made a mistake right here. Now, I don't think I really made any noticeable mistakes at all in either drums or guitars. Specifically, the guitars were basically flawless in terms of, like, I didn't hit a wrong note anywhere, because I didn't do any overdubs. So it had to be perfect. But for the drums, however, I did make a mistake right here. So I didn't slow down enough when I start this next part, this next measure. And so when I hit the bass drum, it happens too quickly. I don't know if you noticed. All right, so there you go. There's that song. I feel like we spent a lot of time on that song. So what's next? Next, it is, Seeping Orifice. Okay, so we're going to be spending a lot of time on this song as well. All right, so this, you may have noticed this. This is one thing I didn't even realize until today. The lyrics were, they were unpublished. I forgot to publish the lyrics for this song. I mean, they're not bad in the sense that, like, they're not stupid, like with the Self-Inflicted Memory Loss lyrics, but for some reason I just forgot to publish them. Which means I've now published them. So this song is really interesting in the sense that, it was for a songwriting challenge on TBV. TBV is the Black Vault. It's a message board. And what am I trying to say here? Yeah, so for this song, by the way, there's really no cover art. There never was any cover art because this was just a single song. I never really bothered making any cover art. It's 2:59, 3 minutes basically. Is that close enough for 3 minutes? But the reason this song is interesting is because what did I do? I started off by improvising almost 3 minutes worth of, like 2.5 minutes worth of drums. And then I wrote the guitars along to the drums. So I've done that many times, well, not many times, but I've done it before, going back to the year 2003, I think was the first time I did it. And it always works out well. I'm always happy with how it turns out, because when you're writing, because you have to, like when you're writing the melodies, you have to do it in a different way when you already have the drum beat. So once you already have the drum beat, the rhythm is already there. So you have to sort of build your melody around the rhythm, as opposed to just building your melody around the melody itself. And then the drums sort of build the rhythm along to the melody. So I guess you're sort of doing it backwards in a way. But every time I've done it, I've been really happy with how it turned out, especially for this track. So I really went all out for this song. It's the drums are very fast, very chaotic, and there are a lot of riffs in this song, a lot of guitar parts. And however, so for this song, I improvised the drums and I played 2.5 minutes nonstop, completely improvised, just off the top of my head. And then when I went to write the guitars, so basically I have a video where I talk about all of this, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I sort of had to decipher what the drums were doing. So I went into Reaper, I put a whole bunch of markers down, and I sort of described what each between markers, so like what each marker was doing on the drums. And I counted out all the different beats. And then when I went to write my guitars along to it, I consulted the text file that had all of the beats and all of the description of the drums. And I wrote my song that way. And then when I recorded the guitars, I wrote and recorded them at the same time. So I did not record a full take. I just recorded it in short sections, because this was just for a songwriting challenge. And so this wasn't like for an album or anything like that. However, with that being said, I did make a video later. We're going to watch a little bit of it, but I did memorize the song on guitar, and I played it all the way through. And we're going to watch that. But first of all, we're going to listen to a little bit of the track. Okay, I had no idea where we were in the lyrics. I don't know what any of these lyrics are. Basically, all the songs I've written, I don't know what any of the lyrics are. That's how much they mean to me. So, except for that "China fuck your dog with a camera." That one I remember for some reason. I had no idea where we were. Okay, so there's part of the song. We're not going to listen to the entire song, but what else are we going to do? So I have, like, underneath my face, I have a text file that has some bullet points of what I wanted to say. We talked about the lyrics. We talked about the cover art. Oh yeah, one thing kind of interesting. Well, I'll talk about that actually after this. So let's. So yeah, I recorded myself playing the drums for this album, for this song, I should say. As I mentioned, they were improvised. So let's watch that. We'll watch part of it. Where is that anyway? Oh, I think it's on my YouTube. So, Seeping Orifice, right? Yeah, here it is right here. So this was 2021. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy the link. Okie By the way, as I said, I'm just completely improvising right now. I'm just playing off the top of my head. There's no music as far as I know when I'm doing the drums. The music was added after. Okay, so we're not going to listen to the whole thing, but this is why I had to decipher the drums, because they're just like nonstop ridiculousness. And so, I mean, if I were to just pick a part from pick a 10-second part, even just for that 10-second part, I wouldn't know like what the hell are the drums doing. So that's why I made this text file that described every single thing that the drums did, so that I'd be able to know and I'd be able to write the music. And as you may have noticed, the guitars fit perfectly with the drums. So even though the drums were completely improvised, the guitars were written to fit exactly what the drums did. Now, I actually had an idea about doing like if I were to re-record the songs and actually like tab out the music, write out the music. And then I would also sort of pretty much play exactly what I'm doing on drums, but sort of fix it and fit it into actual get measures. I would like to do that because that would be interesting. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say about that. But anyways, this was the live drums. And then what else? And we also want to watch this. Okay, so we're going to copy this. So after I did this, I came out with this. So after I did this, I released the song. And then I think I came out with this. I don't know how much after, but this was like the making of Seeping Orifice. And I'm basically doing what I'm doing now. I'm describing what I did in order to write the song. So let's copy. I don't know if I copied it already. Hey, so in this video, I'm going to show a method for writing music along to a drum beat that's already been recorded.
Shut up!
So in other words, you already... By the way, I think this was my first, my first video that I made in Reaper. So I made this video in Reaper, and I never really had video editing software before. I've never really done video editing before. And then I realized that you can do video editing in Reaper. I think Dave told me that actually. And so I was trying it out, and I was also trying it out with OBS. I was new to OBS as well. So I was able to make, these sorts of videos. And then so I tried to add some humor with the Simpsons clips. And I think there's a Family Guy clip. There are a few clips here and there. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, though I would edit it differently now. But kind of interesting. This was my first edited video. So I'll fast forward it because I'm just rehashing what I've already said. We have the drums, way to write song, death metal, and okay. So what I did was just sat down at the drum, and that was it. Basically, my goal was adding mark, whatever, in a full track the drum. Here's one, and there's each beat. 1, 2, that last markers I picked, but Brad, channels I picked. Okay, so here we go. We're getting to the guitar. I'm going to play the entire song so that you can see me playing it on guitar. So for this, so there are 93 things in this text file where I describe what the drums are doing. 93 parts, or 92, I think. So that's a lot. That's a lot of parts to memorize for a 3-minute song. It's not even 3 minutes. But each of these little describer things, they describe what the drums are doing. This is a pretty interesting video. You should go check it out. And it took me 4 takes to be able to do it all the way through. By the way, you can see my nose popping in and out of frame. Almost like I was Jewish or something. That was a joke. Okay, so the song ends right here. However, for this video, I added a little bit of bonus content. I did some sort of free jazz ending just to spice things up. I really like the slow clap. Now, I don't know what that clip is from, by the way. I think it's like not another teen movie or something. I've never seen this movie. I just remember I had the idea of, okay, I need a clip that has a slow clap in it to add to the end of this video. And then I searched that in YouTube and it gave me this clip and I thought it was very funny. But yeah, this part right here where I'm just like screwing around. I believe this is the footage in the Imposter video. So that's kind of interesting there. All right, so we watched this. Now, how long has this gosh darn video been? Only an hour 12, not bad. Only. Okay, so is that it? Can we stop? Oh, so we have one left. Yeah, the Dying's Last Breath. I guess I'll talk about this. So this song, this is from 2013. Okay, so 12 years ago. Is that it? So this was, I think it was for, yeah, this was for one of the Metal Archives songwriting challenges. I forget what. This actually might be like my first fully black metal song that I ever made, or black metal album, I guess. It's sort of an album, EP or something like that. And so what am I trying to say here? So this was I think this was the last, released November 1st. Yeah, I think this was the last song I recorded on my original Windows XP computer. So I had one from like 2002 and that I used until 2013, I should say, for this song. And then I switched over to a Windows. No. I started recording on a Windows 7 laptop. But I remember this was the last song I recorded on the Windows XP computer. However, I was still using Windows XP. I switched over to a different Windows XP computer that was the same age as the one I had been using. But so that's kind of interesting, I guess. But yeah, I was searching for, because I know I made tabs for this song. I was searching for tabs and I couldn't really find anything about this song on any of my computers. I didn't search on the computers. I searched on various external hard drives that I have. So I don't know where all these files, I don't know. They must be on my Windows XP computer. But I would have to dig it out of a closet, and I don't want to do that. So I was sort of debating on whether I wanted to talk about this or not. But I might as well just talk about it, get it out of the way. So this is one long black metal song. It's 14 minutes long. It's basically separated into three parts. There's a beginning, there's an end, and then there's like a mid-tro that's ambient. And so if I remember correctly, I recorded each of those sections separately because I was having problems with my old computer and it wasn't able to like record properly. And so I split it up. It wasn't able to record long songs. So I split it up into three sections. And that's what I did for that. The title actually is a takeoff of my first album, The Last Breath of the Dying. And I just changed the words around. The Dying's Last Breath basically means the same thing. And this is also the cover, I believe, for The Last Breath of the Dying with the colors inverted and probably screwed around with. Minus this text and whatnot. So we'll listen to a little bit of this. Yeah, so black metal has a notorious reputation for being badly recorded, and the intro part there was sort of an homage to that. Because you see, once the drums, once that little intro is done, it gets a little better. It gets a little better sounding, but it's still not very nicely recorded. I really like this mid-tro. It's very nice ambient. And so I'm sort of like whispering, but I'm not saying anything. I'm just making random noises. And I'm also doing some pick stuff on the guitar, on one of the guitars. And I'm also playing some nice chords on the other guitar. And also I believe there is my classic thunderstorm/rain sound effect that I created, or that I recorded, I should say, way back in the day, 2004-ish, that I still use. See you next time.